There's that. What do we make of that?
Well, I think first off, I mean, by the end of the season, things like this happen. You got to let it de-escalate a little bit. I mean, he shouldn't have said what he said, obviously. Take about 2 weeks, and then you can, you'll see it probably a little different. But right there, it's pretty obvious he was upset that he never made the playoffs and things. And how ironic is it, Dano, that,
Well, you can't leave the winner for money and then complain when you don't win.
Amen.
I love Tyreek. Obviously, he's an unbelievable player. But you left Kansas City because you wanted more money. Kansas City tried to keep you. They offered you money. And you left because you wanted the money and go to live in Miami, rightfully so. But then you can't complain that you're not winning as much as you did in Kansas City. And so they're one game away from getting to the playoffs this year. Last year, the injuries. That's the big thing that Tyreek and Miami need to figure out with Tua is, like, how do they keep Tua healthy enough to actually get into the playoffs? Last year, they make it when he was healthy. This year, they don't make it. They miss it by a game when he's not healthy. But you can't choose to leave the all-time winner and then, complain about it, that you're not doing just that in Miami.
D. Wood, the face?
I got to say, listen, first of all, we always ask our athletes to be honest. I appreciate his honesty. But I agree, it's literally 10 minutes after a game.
Yeah.
10 minutes. Your emotions
after the season
is over. Your emotions at an all-time high. Go on vacation. Decompress. If you feeling that way at that time, then so be it. But to say that with the guys you just played with in the locker room, to me, it's disrespectful.
That being said, if I was the New England Patriots, I'd be like, so how real is this? How real is it? Because if I got a young quarterback and that's a guy that you like, no brainer to add if you think you got a young stud.
Well,
if you're the Patriots,
Miami got bigger fish to fry.
Which are?
you got to figure out the quarterback spot.
Well, yeah, the quarterback doesn't bring anything to the table as far as playmaking ability. That's what I'm talking about, Dan.
Right. No.
Playmaking ability. Dan.
We're not going to turn this into a smear.
No, but that's not my overarching point. He's not a force multiplier at the quarterback position. That's number one. And number two, Miami is soft. They're a soft football team. Their style of play is not conducive to go winning any type of championship.
I will push back on that. I think defensively they absolutely play with an edge. I think offensively there's something to be said about their ability to run the ball. But Tua is a phenomenal player. When Tua's on the field, they're a top 5 offense.
Give me a big game that Tua's won.
But that's a little bit attached to. That's a little bit attached to the style of offense with the run game, the physicality, and where it's been played. Okay, I will have the conversation that they got to get him healthy. He's got to stay healthy, or there's a reason to justify making sure you got a really good insurance plan. But he can play.
Well, yeah. I mean, listen, that conversation kind of deterred into talking about Tua and stuff like that. But we'll keep it with Tyreek. I mean, yeah. I mean, this is on Tyreek Hill. He did. He left the Kansas City Chiefs, Andy Reid, and Patrick Mahomes, and then went to a work in progress with the Miami Dolphins and Tua Tagovailoa, and a first-year head coach. What are you expecting? Like, what are you expecting? Like, that's how this works. And if you wanted to go to a more complete win now team, then you would have to take less money. That's how it works. These guys think that they deserve to have all the money and go to the best situation. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. That's not how it works in pretty much any industry. There's always some sort of sacrifice. You could be an amazing computer programmer, a construction worker, whatever. Oftentimes the highest paid jobs are in very weird situations. You got to move to North Dakota. You got to work for this company, but you have to be responsible for like a million other things. Usually the other jobs, the jobs where you get really taken care of, you get paid a little less because you're in a better situation. You're in a more organized situation. You're in a more complete situation. You see this in every single profession. Doctors, lawyers, again, carpenters, it doesn't matter. Blue collar, white collar, whatever. But for whatever reason, athletes just think that they should just have it all. Have it all. Brandon Ayuk's like, get me out of here. Tyreek Hill's like, get me out of here. Diggs is, get me out of here. And it's just not how it works. Just not. And yeah, if you're the Miami Dolphins, you have to be pretty frustrated about this. Because you build both a really good team, but then also a team that is never resilient. Never resilient. And it's frustrating. It's frustrating if you're a Miami Dolphins fan. And the truth is if Tua doesn't go down, they do make the playoffs. And then who knows what happens? You know, they were just one game away from the playoffs. And Tua, obviously, they went on a whole-on losing streak. And again, that shows you the lack of resilience from the Miami Dolphins. That shows you the lack of their resilience. The Green Bay Packers, Jordan Love went down. They were able to win some games. Philadelphia Eagles, backup of a backup. They were able to win some games. I mean, they won with multiple backups against the Dallas Cowboys, who were trying to spoil the Eagles, who had just beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with Baker Mayfield. Like, this is a cultural problem of the Miami Dolphins. Their lack of resilience. That is on them. It really is. Because we have multiple teams with backup quarterbacks this season who have found ways to get wins. Both the Eagles and the Packers, multiple wins with their backup quarterbacks. And I'm sure there's probably another example or two that I just, can't think of off the top of my head. But those are the two that stand out right now. And we've seen it, obviously. We have plenty of examples over the years. Heck, the Miami Dolphins have shown a little bit of it with backup quarterbacks. And yet they couldn't do anything. So it's frustrating. It's frustrating. You got to build a team that can obviously be great and resilient. If you're not resilient, then you're of no use in the NFL. Look at the Detroit Lions this year. They are decimated with injuries. Decimated. 12 defensive players on IR alone. They don't care. They found a way. They found a way. Heck, the Pittsburgh Steelers were able to get off some wins with Justin Fields. I understand why Tyreek Hill is going to be mad, but also he went to a work in progress team, but also the Dolphins have to do more as well. So it's a two-way street here. It's a two-way street. And I don't know where they go from here, honestly. I really don't. I don't know if you move on from Tyreek Hill, if you try to make him happy. Like, I don't know. I'm curious what Miami Dolphins fans feel about this. Like, do they want to just let Tyreek Hill go? Do they want to do everything they can to keep him? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment. So whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.